Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be filming this video. This is a video that I feel like I have been waiting to film since like February when I even heard that these things were coming out. I am so excited, and it was really driving me nuts because they like released in the UK and in Asia earlier than they released here, and I was starting to get so bent out of shape over it. Also, hello everybody. I know for you guys it seems like I haven't gone anywhere, but I haven't filmed for you guys in weeks and weeks and weeks because, well, let's say weeks and weeks. There was like 2 weeks, maybe 2.5. I don't really know. I was on vacation for a while. We just got back pretty much yesterday, which was Sunday. Today is Tom's first day back to work. I don't have to go back till tomorrow, thank goodness, because I wanted to get some videos filmed for you guys, particularly this one. Also, some big thing happened on our holiday, and I'm not going to completely sweep it under the rug because you guys are obviously going to notice, and then a bunch of people are going to be asking down below. We got engaged over the holiday. Last Monday, Tom proposed to me up at my timeshare. I've thought about filming a little bit of a video telling about it, but I find that not a lot of people are really interested in that. So if that is something you guys do want to hear about how he proposed and all of that stuff, I'm happy to do it. But if you don't want to hear about it, that's fine too. So let's get on to the topic of today's video because MAC finally released to me the Powder Kiss collection. I am so happy. Obviously, they already had their original Powder Kiss lipsticks, which I love. These come in 21 different shades. I've had more than this, but I only have 5 presently because over time I have sort of decluttered them. If you are not familiar with the Powder Kiss lipsticks, also if I'm looking down, it's just because I have the website up because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys verbatim like what they describe these as. I don't want to just give you my like version of it. If I could find the details. So they are matte, totally reinvented, delivering a romantic blur of soft focus color. This weightless moisture matte lipstick was developed to replicate a backstage technique, which is blending out edges of matte lipstick for a hazy effect. So that's what these are. If you're the kind of girl that likes more of a blur of a lip color, these are totally for you. Its groundbreaking formula contains moisture-coated powder pigments that contain and hydrate lips. The result is the zero shine look of a matte lipstick with the cushiony, lightweight feel of a balm. Totally true. These smell fantastic. They feel super hydrating. And like I said, they come in 21 different colors. So there's definitely a color for everybody. And the best thing is that to go along with the new lipstick, they did put it in kind of like a matte, soft touch feel container as well. So these came out a while ago, and I mentioned when I told you guys I was going to go on a no buy that they were going to be releasing a liquid lip version of these. Now I already love MAC Retro Matte liquid lipsticks. They're one of my favorites, so I knew that I would like really be into this formula. What I didn't know is they were also releasing a line of soft touch eyeshadow. So I'm going to read a little bit about that first because there are less of them to talk about. If that makes any sense. So, by the way, the Powder Kiss lipsticks retail for $24 a piece. The eyeshadows are either $24 if you get them in the way that I got them, but if you want the Pro Pan fills, they are $11. So if you've got a MAC Z palette or some kind of a Z palette and you want to just have the Pro Pan refills, you can do that, and it will save you some money. Like I should have done that. You can get 2 for the price of 1. So they put out 10 colors. I only picked up 6 of them because a couple of them just weren't for me. So the full description is believe it when you feel it. Meet the velvet comfort of you love on your lips, now for your lids. Experience a weightless kiss of color with Powder Kiss soft matte eyeshadow. Unwrap eyes with Pillow Soft matte color using soft focus filter technology that delivers a beautifully diffused blurring effect. The highly blendable, luxurious formula smooths onto lids with unbelievable slip. Its exclusive cream matrix formula allows for an ultra creamy, exceptionally soft and gliding texture. This next generation matte formula is available in lip toned colors translated for the eyes. So that's why some of the colors just weren't going to be for me. Personally, I will tell you guys all the colors that they come in, and then I will like put little clips and stuff up here if you guys want to see them. And then the rest I'm going to swatch on my hands and show you guys in person. Also for everybody, I mentioned this in my BoxyCharm video, which probably will come up after this, but for everybody who commented on my last matte collection saying like, you don't hold them, you hold them too close to the camera, we can't see them, you don't hold them long enough. I heard you, and I am going to make a really big effort to do better. So these come just like normal MAC eyeshadows do, and they come in, it sounds like, a lot of the same colors that the lipsticks come in. Like they reused all the shade names, at least for the one that I have in my hand right now, which is Devoted to Chili. So like I said, there's a bunch that I did not get. The first shade I did not get is called Fall in Love. It is a mid-tone blue pink. For me, I'm not a big pink person. It's just not something that I was really itching to put on my eyes, so I didn't get it. I also did not get the So Hot, like, and by hot, it's like haute couture or whatever, if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. So Haute right now, or Hot right now, which is a bright blood orange. Again, for me, oranges are something that I'm not 100% like comfortable with. I like that they're more in the neutral family, but they're still a little bit out there for me. Okay, I also did not get Best of Me, which is a vanilla cream color. I honestly don't know why I didn't get that one because it is sort of in the family of shades that I like, but I think for me, I just have enough of those like staple nude colors that you sort of pop on prior to putting your color on that I just decided I didn't need another one. I also did not get Work, which is a classic red, particularly because for me, every time that I put red eyeshadow on my eyelids, I feel like it makes me look like dead, so I just decided not to. All right, so first things first, the packaging on these is just like the Powder Kiss lipstick packaging. It's that really nice, like soft touch matte packaging, which I really do like. So they look exactly like a normal MAC shadow, just rather than having the matte black packaging, or some have the shiny black. These have the soft touch packaging, which is so satisfying to actually touch, but it also made them a little bit more difficult to get out of the box, in my opinion. So we're gonna go over these. I'm going to show you them. I'm going to hold up swatches and this and that. So the first color that I got is in Devoted to Chili. It is described as a rusty brown, and for me, it is just that. So it's this beautiful brown kind of a color. This is going to be the moment of truth. Let's see how these swatch. So I'm just going to do it on camera. I won't do this with all of them, but definitely for the first one, I want to see what the difference is between this and their other matte ones. Okay, it feels very soft, very creamy, very pigmented, not a ton of fallout from the looks of it. Let's just see what it goes like for transfer. Wow. That is the eyeshadow that just kept going and going and going. So it is a kind of, you know, blurred out effect, as they did mention that it would be. It's not like that super stark pigmented color, but I think that's the whole point of these, is that they are supposed to be a little bit more blurred out, a little bit hazy, kind of romantic in my opinion. So I'm really into that. I think it's really good. And now that I've swatched the one, we can make this whole rest of this video a lot quicker. This next shade is Ripened. It is a soft mid-tone mauve, kind of a really pretty soft purplish color. So it's just a really soft purple mauve kind of a color. I didn't get quite as much on my hand as I did for the first one, which is why that swatch doesn't go as long. But like I said, I am going to try and speed up the rest of this. And I'm hoping you guys are getting better ideas of the colors than I normally do. Lens Blur is a bright, rich violet. I don't know that I would personally call this a violet. It seems a little bit more magenta to me. One thing I will say is they are a little powdery as I'm picking them up with my finger. Now that may not be the case picking up with a brush, because obviously your finger, you're digging into the product quite a bit more. Whereas if you did it with a brush, it would be a little bit softer. It would only really pick up what you need. And the only time I'm noticing the powder is when I'm going to swatch it on my hand. Sometimes you get these little chunks that just fly away. We've got Give a Glam, which is a blackened chocolate brown. I'm absolutely loving this color. Also, something I haven't talked about, this little exterior part here where it looks kind of silver, it is a matte silver, so it's not shiny. I honestly think they could have done without that. If they had just put a black in here, I think it would look a little bit nicer. It's just my opinion. I don't talk about packaging a whole lot, just something I've noticed. That is a really, really dark, rich chocolate brown, and I think the reason I'm gonna like it so much in this formula is because it is a little bit softer, a little bit more hazy of a formula. It's not gonna like go on so packed on. I feel like it's gonna be very buildable, which could be super beneficial for some kind of like a dark color like that. Maybe for a lighter color, you want it to pack a little bit more punch initially. But I just think in terms of like building up your work and not getting like a really dark smoky eye when you didn't mean to, it might actually be better to have it in this sort of a formula. This color here is Strike a Pose. It is a light shell pink. I personally, we're gonna put it up here, would not call this a shell pink, although I suppose to me it's more of a peach. It's not showing up a whole heck of a lot, to be honest. But I just think that's just because it's on my middle finger. I'm so sorry. I just think that that's, one, it's kind of close to my natural skin color. Two, it is a softer color, and because it has that hazy effect, you're not going to see it quite as much. I've done a double swipe on there so you can see that it is a little bit buildable, but you can also probably see that it's a little bit chunky and patchy. The last color I got is a light cognac color called What Clout. This for me was like the most staple of the 10 offered in terms of like a really, really nice crease color brown. I really liked that it kind of has that bit of like an orangey yellow undertone to it. We're gonna put it right there. So those are the 6 that I purchased based off swatching them on my hands alone. I do really like the idea of them. I like the feel of them. It'll be interesting to see how they go on the eye. How buildable are they really? How blendable are they? But we will get to that in a later video, because for now, we're gonna get to the part of this collection that excited me the most, has excited me the most since I saw it teased back in, I think, February. It's been a really long time, maybe even March. It's been a really long time since they brought these up. Believe it when you feel it. Powder Kiss now includes a liquid lip color to give you that blurred, high-impact matte look. Experience a weightless kiss of color, delivering 10 hours of moisture. Ooh. Its whipped mousse-like texture softly and evenly kisses lips with just the right amount of non-setting, non-flaking, comfortable color. The special blend of vitamin E powders and emollient properties provide excellent cushion, flexibility, wear, and moisture that will leave lips looking and feeling soft and smooth all day. Features an hourglass-shaped applicator that perfectly hugs lips to fill in lines and enhance lips with a smoothing and blurring effect. I am so happy. Also, we're going to read these key claims just for this because they are immediate and 10-hour moisture. Long wearing, 10 hours, blurs lines and smooths lips, soft focus, blurred color effect, smooth stay true color for 10 hours, non-setting, non-creasing, non-flaking, non-drying, consumer testing on 116 women after 1 week, 95% said it applied smoothly onto lips, 94% said it left lips feeling soft and smooth upon application. I'm spitting everywhere. It's like I'm salivating over this. 92% said it was color true throughout wear. 91% said it left lips feeling moisturized upon application. I am, of course, talking about the Powder Kiss liquid lip color. I am so excited. They put out 17 shades. I bought 13 shades. There was a part of me that was like, do I get all 17 shades just to have them? And then once again, I just said, no, don't do that, because there were some colors that really just weren't for me. Like we did with the eyeshadows. I'm going to show you the colors here that I didn't get in case that you are interested. And the rest of them, we are going to be swatching on the hands, looking at in the tube, and swatching on the lips. Hence why I have no lip color on right now, because I really want to see how these work, and whatever one I do last, I'm going to wear it the rest of the day. and come back and let you guys know how it works. Alrighty, it took me a minute, but I figured out which ones I did not get. The first one I did not get was Sorry Not Sorry. It is described as a dirty pumpkin orange. That just didn't seem like a color for me. I'm not one to really put oranges on my lip unless they're more of like a coral orange, like a bright, soft orange, if that makes any sense. It looks like a really nice color. It would be a really pretty fall color, and because it has that blur technology, I think after wearing a bunch of these ones, I may rethink that decision, but for now, we do not have it. The next one that I did not get is Resort Season. That is a bright orange, and I mean a bright orange. It is pretty much like Morange to me, which is another MAC lip color. It just seemed a little too much. Again, I'm not one for the orange lips unless it's more of like a peachy or a coral kind of a color. Another one that I didn't get that I'm kind of regretting not getting is Billion Dollar Smile. It is a bright fluorescent pink. I didn't get it originally because when you look through the colors, there was a section where somebody had an arm out with swatches of them, and two of them looked quite similar. I think it was Billion Dollar Smile and Model Off Duty and Make It Fashion were all pretty close to each other. So I didn't want to get all three. I only got two of them, and I ended up not getting that really bright color. The other one that I didn't get was Devoted to Chili, which is a burnt red. Again, it's not that I don't like the color, but if I'm going to be wearing a red, it's probably going to be a true red or a burgundy red, like a wine toned red. It's not going to be so much of that burnt sort of a color. So I just decided that for me personally, it wasn't going to make the cut, but everything else did. Another thing that I thought was kind of interesting, and I will kind of talk about this as we go through, is 3 of the liquid lip colors that I got, I also have in the original formula. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to compare them against each other so you can maybe see how close the colors are to their original counterparts. So these are the 13 colors that I did get. Let's hope that I actually really like this formula, or I may have made a huge mistake because these are $27 each. It sounds outrageous when I say it because I did pay for these all with my own money, but we all have our things that we like to spend our money on, and makeup is mine, so don't judge me for that. So before I get to swatching these, let's really quickly just talk about the packaging. I'm just taking a random one. So it's got that same soft touch lid. It is in the same basic components as the regular retro matte lip color is in. Just for size comparison, so I can show you guys, this is one of the regular retro matte lip colors. So they used basically the same idea, the same components, but they made it kind of, it looks more like frosted glass, but the whole thing is soft touch. So there is no hardness, like it's hard, it's plastic, but the whole thing is soft touch and it just feels amazing. I know when these first came out, a lot of people didn't know how they felt about them because they used like the top of a bullet lipstick and put them on this. I've always liked them, and I feel like with other people, they've been growing on them. So just as a side note, in an attempt to be sensible, I have spent time lining them up in what I hope is from lightest to darkest so as not to stain my lips incredibly bad and also to not stain my hand. So let's just get straight into it. This first color is Date Maker. It is described as a warm nude. I'd say warm nude is pretty much right. It's pulling a little bit more pinkish than anything else, which is really nice. So this is what Date Maker looks like on the lips. It is definitely a warm nude. We also just got our first experience of trying the formula and of playing with the applicator. So the applicator is this weird sort of hourglass shape. I think it's meant so that you can put it on the curve of your lip and just go. So something I noticed, absolutely moisturizing from the get-go. Immediately my lips just feel really soft, really comfortable. It's a really pretty color. It is pigmented for what it is. Obviously, it is a blurring kind of a lip color, so I didn't expect full-fledged punch of pigment, but it is really, really nice. It feels comfortable. The moussey texture is going to be something that I'm going to need to get rid of because, or get used to, because originally when I did do the swatch on my hand, I was kind of like, this is weird, it's not something I'm used to, but I also think that it could just be because of the applicator, because it's in that weird shape that is not really meant for hand swatching. So that being said, let's keep going. The second lipstick is in the shade Mullet Over. It's described as a mid-tone nude with a pink undertone. This is also the first of the liquid lipsticks that I have in the original formula as well. So swatched here on the top of my hand, I have the new Liquid Powder Kiss formula, and on the bottom is the original formula. As you can see, the liquid one is slightly more pigmented. Also, it took less going back over than the other one to get true pigment, which leads me to believe that the original Powder Kisses are more balmy than these new ones, which are in that new whipped formula. So the new ones are definitely more pigmented, while they do stay true to the original tones and color family of the original formula. And this is Mullet Over on the lips. I would say, I don't know that I think it has a pink undertone. I find that it is a little bit orangey corally, at least that's how it's pulling on my lips. But again, it's that really comfortable texture. And something else to note is when I did take the other one off, very easy to remove, wasn't clinging, no staining, and no staining on the hand either, which is always nice. Not that it really matters for real wear, but for someone like me who is going to be swatching them all over my hand, it's nice to know that they're not going to stain horribly bad. Next, we have Over the Taupe, which is described as a mid-tone dirty nude. This is the color on my hand. It is kind of pulling more of a brown undertone, which is to be expected. I don't know, I would necessarily call this taupe, but I will say another thing to mention is that it does look pretty much exactly how it looks in the bottle on my hand, which I also noticed about the other two as well. Just something to make note of. And this is that same color on my lips. I found that it is, you know, pretty exact, but one thing I did notice when applying these, the easiest way to do it, in my opinion, is to put a nice coat of it. I should show you guys me doing this. Maybe I'll do that for the next one. To take the applicator and put a good coat on your bottom lip, and then smush them together. And if you have to do any defining on your upper lip, then do it then. But it's really easy to spread the color that way because it is such a moussey, comfortable formula. I actually really like this color. Looking at it on my hand, I didn't think I would, but I think because it has that blurred out aspect to it, I think these are those kind of lipsticks where maybe if you're afraid of a certain color, like maybe I'm afraid of oranges, I don't wear oranges, maybe this is the formula I should be trying them in, because it will blur out and be less drastic and less dramatic, but still get you a little bit more comfortable with getting into that color family. Next up, we have Crossfade, which is described as a coral. I kind of love the color name of this one because it reminds me of their original lipstick in the shade Crosswires, which is a cream sheen lipstick. It was one of the first lipsticks I ever had, so there's a little nostalgia factor to this color for me. This is what the color looks like on the hand. Once again, it is very, very similar to the color that you see in the packaging. Looks like they translate very, very well from what you see to what you're actually getting, which is another thing that they claimed, is that it was a true color for 10 hours. As promised, I'm going to swatch this one on my lips for you guys, just so you guys can kind of see the technique that I have found would be working the best, because the brush shape is weird. It is that hourglass shape, the shape of the brushes is a little bit strange. It's probably just something you're gonna have to get used to. So I find that if you put it kind of in the dip on your lower lip, and drag it across a little bit. Ooh, do you guys hear that thunder? And then you smoosh it around a little bit, and for any like lines you might have to fix, just reapply a little bit on the top and smoosh it around and blend it out a little bit more. And it looks really, really nice. Again, it is that blurred out kind of a look, so you're not getting some crazy, crazy color, because that is a very dark color. But on the lips, it just looks very, very soft and subtle, and they are so, so comfortable. So that is Crossfade. This one here is called the More the Merrier, Mare spelled M-e-h-r, another throwback to one of MAC's original lipstick colors. I love that color, Mare. This is described as a mauvey nude. For me, it looks a little bit more on the mauve purple side than it does the nude side, but we are just starting to get away from those true nude kind of colors. Well, I suppose the last one wasn't really a nude, into something a little bit more fun, a little bit more pigmented. So this is what it looks like here, again, next to its counterpart in the packaging. Really stunning color. Pulls a little bit more purple than nude, but really pretty. And this is this color on the lips. Again, you know, it is pretty much the same as it is in the bottle. At least it was when I first put it on, but because I've decided that the best way for me to apply these is to put it on my lower lip and then blend and blot and smoosh my lips together to kind of get it to go everywhere. I am losing some of that original color. I think if you were to put a layer on your bottom lip and a layer on your top lip and then kind of like do it that way, you might get a little bit more of a true purpley mauve color, but it's still pretty close. And then the other way to apply these would be with a brush of sorts and really get that feathered blended out look. But I want you guys to see what these colors look like full on, so I won't be doing that today, but in the future maybe I'll do that for another video so we can kind of see all the effects that you can get with these. Maybe I'll do it like this, like this, like this. We'll kind of do an experiment with these in a future video. This color is Make It Fashion. It is described as a fuchsia. Quite rightfully so. It is a beautiful, like deep, bright pink. Here is that same color swatched on my hand. Absolutely stunning. Reminds me of other MAC regular lipsticks that I've had in the past, but I just think that this is a beautiful color in a really cool formula. And here is the color on my lips. Now, I will say this, and I should have said this earlier in the video, please don't make fun of me for how bad my lip swatching is. If you ever have tried to swatch multiple lip colors on your lips within a very short amount of time, you know it's very difficult to get it absolutely perfect every time. You know it's like you're rubbing your lips raw and whatnot. So it's actually kind of nice that these have that moisturizing aspect. I did the best I could, and especially for some of these brighter colors and when we get into the reds, the lip lines are going to get a little bit more hazy, a little more funky. Please forgive me for that. But once again, a really pretty color, and I was really interested to see what happened when you got into some of these brighter, more vibrant colors. Would they completely blend out? And it hasn't at all. Once again, I only did the one layer on my lower lip and then smushed my lips together, and this is what we are left with, and I think it worked out pretty well, considering it could have been a lot more faded. Again, I think to get a more faded effect with the color, you would need to use a brush. All right, you guys, we're officially at the halfway point of these lip colors. This is number 7, a little tamed. It is also the second lip color that I have in the original Powder Kiss formula. This is described as a rosy pink. Here on my hand, the upper swatch is the new liquid lip color and the lower one is the original Powder Kiss formula, just so again you guys can see a color comparison. How close are they? I would say that this one is almost a little bit more orangey and this one is a little bit more of that true pink, but still pretty close, if I do say so myself. And we're getting to that point where my lipstick swatches are getting out of control and going everywhere. So this is that color on the lips. Really pretty color. Would I call it a rosy pink? Not really. I don't really know how I would define it, but it is a really nice color. Model Off Duty is described as a blue pink. I think that's a pretty accurate description. It does kind of have that more cool tone pink vibe to it. A really pretty color. Nice, almost like rich pink. And this is that same color swatched really poorly on my lips. I can see that I've got like bleed going on everywhere. One of my like heart bits is, well, I don't even know what these are called. One of them is way better than the other, so I just wanted you guys to see the color. I'm sorry. So that is what it looks like. Let's get on to the next color. We are so close to being done. Alrighty, this color is a Scandalous. It is described as a warm coral. For me, it looks like quite a bright coral reddish tone, sort of like Impassioned, which is an amplified, has that kind of a bright neon vibrant red orange kind of effect to me anyways. And this is what the color looks like on my lips. This was honestly the first one that I applied that I thought looked a little bit streaky in the application. But what I mean by that is like when I put it on, I found that I was like pulling color all over the place and it wasn't giving me a lot of full coverage. But as soon as I kind of blended my lips together, it all evened out really, really nicely. And I think that this is the first one that I've seen that gave me what I expected in terms of a true blurred effect. The other ones are very pigmented, very, very true to the color. This one for me looks a little bit more blurred out in that kind of a hazy sort of a look that these are claiming to have without the use of a brush. This beautiful bright red is m-a-csmash. It is described as a true red, and I don't think they could have had any more of a right description. It is an absolutely stunning, stunning, bright, vivid, real red color. I think it's gorgeous. I'm a little hesitant to have a red in this formula, but we'll see how it goes. All right, you guys, so here is the red in this formula. This did take a little bit of a build-up. It wasn't quite as, I have like the worst like stuff going on in the corners of my mouth right now. It looks horrible. I'm so sorry. Is this better? Anyways, so like I said, this was one that I thought would apply kind of like the last one where it looked really streaky. It honestly wasn't that streaky, but another bit of advice that I will give you is when you are, about to apply, really take a look at the applicator and see where the concentration of the product is, because something I have noticed over doing this is that it's all good and fine for it to be concentrated at like the narrow point of the hourglass, but when there's a big chunk of it on the tip, if you do decide to use that tip to kind of shape your lip line, you're going to end up with really big deposits of the color that are a little bit hard to blend out properly without probably screwing up the rest of your face. I would also like to quickly point out that after that last color, the m-a-csmash, that really bright red, this is the first time that I've had any experience with staining on the lips and also staining on the hand. Again, the hand is not so much something that's going to be a problem, but for anybody that was curious, this one did stain my lips quite a bit. This color here is Make Love to the Camera and is described as a deep wine red. I would say that it gives me like throwbacks to colors like D for Danger and MAC Diva. It's that really, really beautiful, beautiful, deep burgundy wine sort of a red tone. Absolutely stunning. I don't know how much these darker colors are gonna like work in this formula, because I feel like if you're wearing a dark vampy color like this, you might want it to be very, very vibrant, very matted down and dried down so that it stays where it is and doesn't move outside your lip line a lot. So here is this color here, this Make Love to the Camera. It is a beautiful coverage, I will say. I'm gonna get a little closer. Again, I know that the corners of my mouth are a little stained and a little messy. My whole mouth's a little messy, but it is a really nice color and a really nice coverage. My one concern with something like this, wearing it for a longer period of time, is the transfer of it, because it does feel so slick on the lips that it's moving around a lot. I worry about, as you're talking, drinking, going about your day, that it might move outside your lip line a little bit, which is not as worrying with some of the lighter colors. I just kind of want to see like what the transfer is. So if I just go, yeah, so there is quite a bit of transfer. Now, obviously there's still a lot there. Maybe I just had excess on my mouth, but that is slightly concerning just for some of these darker colors, because for me, at least, when I'm wearing a dark color or a red or a very bright color, I want to know that it's not going to be moving all over the place during the time that I'm wearing it. I want to feel comfortable knowing that where I put it is where it's going to stay until I need to touch it up or reapply it. This next color is called Burning Love. It is described as a berry. It is also the final color in which I have the original formula for. So here are the swatches. The top color, once again, is the new Liquid Powder Kiss formula, with the bottom color being the original Powder Kiss formula. Again, the colors are pretty similar. I would say that this one is maybe a bit darker in places where there was more product on the applicator, but I think once it would all be blurred out, it would be pretty true to color to the original. So this is that color on my lips. I don't really know that I think it's that much different than that last color, which was the Make Love to the Camera. Here is the two of them side by side. One is obviously a little bit more purple tone, the other one a little bit more red tone, but I don't know that you can really tell a difference. I guess it's a little bit more on the pinky purple side than the last one, but I would think that if you had one or the other, you would be okay. You probably don't need both of them. And finally, this last color is called Got the Callback. It is described as a mid-tone mauve berry color. It is definitely a little berry, a little purple, very vampy, very dark, very pretty color. And this is what this one looks like on the lips. Now, because this is the last color I have swatched and put on, this is the color I'm going to leave on for the rest of the day and see how it wears, and then let you guys know what I think about it, what my final thoughts are. Something else I noted while I was doing this is when you open these and then close them, they do feel very, very secure, like they're gonna stay nice and juicy for you for a long, long time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. MAC haul collection videos are some of my favorite to film, and I know that they're the ones that get the most out there on my channel. Like, some of my MAC hauls have I don't know, 20,000 views on them, normally the Christmas collections. So these are some of my favorite to film, just knowing that I'm going to be reaching a wider audience. I hope for anybody that has complained in the past that I'm really bad at showing swatches and showing the colors and the products, that I did a little bit better this time. If you guys have any other advice or, constructive criticism you want to give me, I'm all ears. I always want to hear about it. So let me know down below which colors are your favorites, which ones would you try, which ones did you get, if you got any, did you get any of the 4 that I didn't get and maybe I should give them a chance. Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye. Alright, you guys, so it is now the end of the day. Sorry the lighting's terrible. I kind of forgot that I was going to film this part, so I took down my ring light and my tripod and all sorts of things. Anyways, it's been probably about 6 or 7 hours since I put it on, and this is what I'm left with now. Get really close. To be completely honest, I think the only reason there's any color left is because I stained my lips from putting on so many lipsticks and then taking them off. Something I noticed throughout the day, it stayed very comfortable. I found that I was able to glide my lips together consistently throughout the day. Eventually, it did get a little bit dry, but that was hours and hours into it. And I feel like by that point, you would have probably reapplied it anyways. It was good through drinking. I have eaten dinner, so like I said, this is what's left, but I think a true wear test should have been done using a lighter color, because maybe it wouldn't have stained my lips. But if you're gonna wear a dark color, it might stain your lips anyway. So there you go. Hopefully this helped and you guys found this video interesting and informative. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.